This tower is a giant cannon that's aimed at the human server on the moon. If we don't do something, all of humanity's remaining data will be destroyed.
So what? None of it matters. Or didn't you know? We aren't required in this world anymore. Humanity is extinct. That moon server you're so worried about was invented to give us androids something to fight for. And YoRHa was created to perpetuate the lie. But in order to make sure no one ever learned the truth, we were designed to be killed. They built a back door in the bunker and programmed it to activate after a certain amount of time. The commander, me, 2B, sacrificial lambs. All of us. Isn't that hilarious? Doesn't it make you laugh?
9S, we...
Shut up! You killed 2B. That's all we need to kill each other.
2B hated to keep killing you. It caused her so much pain. The 9S type is a high-end model. They knew you'd discover the truth eventually. But the model designation 2B was just a cover. The official designation is 2E. Number 2 type E. They were a special class of members designed to execute YoRHa units. But you knew that, right, 9S?
Shut up! Shut up! What do you know? You don't know anything at all about us!
Proposal. Cease combat. Fighting her at this point would be
Pod
irrational
153. I order you to halt all logical thought and speech. This order shall remain in effect until you confirm the death of either myself or Unit A2.
Hello everybody, I'm Brainy Diode, and I am back with the final episode of Nier Automata. This series at this point is over a year in the making, so it feels really surreal to say that. That being said, last time we fought our most difficult opponent yet, Emil, to get ending Y. And this time, we're going after ending E, the true ending of the game. To get to ending E, you can select either 9S or A2 at this point, and you'll be given a choice after the final cutscene plays. Select yes for that choice to be sent to ending E as long as you have gotten ending C or ending D previously. I've always thought that A2's final cutscene is a bit more hopeful, so to send us off on a high note, I'm going to go ahead and play as her in our final battle. Yes, I'm sure. Alright, so something I wanted to mention last time we did this battle, but forgot to. Oh wow, 9S is only level 50 in this fight. This fight's gonna be over really fast. Something that I wanted to mention, but forgot to, was that the reveal that 2B is actually 2E, an android that is designed to kill other YoRHa androids, was actually something that was foreshadowed much earlier in the game, in a side quest that we did all the way back in Route A. That was the side quest with the YoRHa deserters, when we were ordered to go find them and kill them for stealing resources from the Resistance, but the Resistance confirmed that they actually hadn't had resources stolen. This isn't confirmed, but I am assuming that the reason we actually had to kill those YoRHa deserters, or the traitors, sorry, the reason we actually had to kill the traitors is because they discovered the secret behind the moon base, and 2B was assigned to kill them because that's what she does. So that's just an interesting bit of information.
Acknowledge.
Pod, we're going to repair 9S's logic circuits.
Acknowledged.
Tell me where to find the virus corrupting 9S.
Affirmative. YoRHa Unit A2. Core data for 9S is stored ahead. Alert. Severe virus corruption. Probability of successful deletion extremely low.
I think I know a way.
The idea under consideration is not recommended. This pod is a YoRHa tactical support unit. As such, it cannot approve of actions that would damage its supported unit.
You're not so bad, Pod. You know that?
So while we're inside of 9S's systems again, I just want to say one more time, another note about how many hours I put into getting ending Y. Man, that is going to make ending E all the more bittersweet, and I think you're going to see why once you see what's in store for us in a little bit. For now, I was not expecting that to be over quite as quick. I was expecting 9S to have the same level as A2 had, and that the battle would therefore take a bit longer, but turns out they just kept 9S at level 50 for that fight. So we're already finishing this off. This might wind up being a fairly short episode.
I'll take care of everything. Pod. Take care of 9S.
What of you, A2?
I've still got something I need to do. You go ahead.
Acknowledged.
I'm sorry. I never quite realized how beautiful this world is. I'm coming, everyone. I'm coming.
Report. All YoRHa unit black boxes now confirmed offline. Our mission to oversee the progress of Project YoRHa is complete. Proceeding to final stage of project. Commencing deletion of all data. Pod 153 to Pod 042. Data noise present in stream. Requesting temporary halt to perform data check.
Alright, so we said no to this last time, but in order to get ending E, we have to accept the pod's request. So, here we go. We've got one last fight ahead of us.
Pod 042 to Pod 153. Data confirmed. Personal data for units 9S, 2B, and A2 appear to be leaking out.
Pod 153 to Pod 042. Follow project rules and delete all personal data.
Pod 042 to Pod 153. Personal data deletion request denied.
Pod 153 to Pod 042. Failure to parse statement.
Pod 042 to Pod 153. There was data created in my banks as I was referencing the records. I realize something. I have come to the conclusion that I cannot accept this resolution.
The destruction of all YoRHa units is an essential component of the project plan. All data must be destroyed.
Pod 042 to Pod 153. Repeat. Personal data deletion request denied. Initiating data salvage. Pod 153. You hoped they would survive as well, didn't you?
We lack the authority for such an action. The rules are protected by low-level systems. Salvaging data poses an unacceptable level of risk. Knowing that, do you still wish for them to survive?
We fought alongside these characters for so long. Of course I want them to live. Here we are. You know, in a soundtrack already full of amazing songs, I think this has to be one of my favorites.
If this continues, our consciousness data will likely be deleted.
Pod 042 to Pod 153. We were created to execute the android's Project YoRHa plan. We had no capacity for emotion. But when we six were connected and exchanged information, something happened. I cannot deny the feeling of something resembling consciousness and emotion being born.
Unable to reply.
Perhaps we now understand that not everything has to have an answer.
So, first of all, remember all those times I said death of the author throughout the course of this game? Well, here we are. In order to finish Nier Automata, to get the true ending, you need to kill the author in the most literal way that a video game can provide. You have to destroy the end credits. What can I even say about this? This is just insane. No, we're not going to give up. This is just wild. Also, on a second note, you'll remember that Pod 42 mentioned 6 people. So, the 6 people that got connected, there's Pod 042, Pod 153, 2B, 9S, and A2. And you may notice that's 5. So, of course, who could the 6th person be other than the player? Man, this game is just... This game is pretty good. This game is a pretty good game. Like, holy cow. This ending, what can I say about this ending? It's just so bizarre, but somehow it just works so well. Somehow this ending just makes me really happy. You know, I just really like this ending. That being said, it is one of the bullet hell segments, and I have been notoriously bad at the bullet hell segments thus far in the game. You will notice I have already died once. When you die, you do get to reload right away, but trust me, we have not seen nearly how difficult it gets yet. It gets much more difficult than this later on. But don't worry, the developers aren't leaving you out to dry. We will have help. Not quite yet. I'm gonna need to prove that I need it first, but we're not alone for this fight. Man, I'm running out of commentary to say here. This is just, you know, I've said pretty much everything I want to say about this game. So it's really fitting that we're at the final episode now. I'm getting pretty close to the end, honestly. It's just, man, I really hope that you've enjoyed watching this series as much as I've enjoyed making it. I mean, I know there weren't too many people sticking around the whole time, but I think I've made a lot of improvements even over the course of this one series. And I hope that I will be able to continue making improvements in my next one. I have decided, like 99% sure what my next game is going to be, but I'm not revealing it yet. I am currently in the process of replaying it to make absolutely certain, but unless my opinion of the game tanks in the middle of this playthrough, which I highly doubt it will, I have decided which game I am going with next. All I will say about it is that it is much shorter than this one, and it has a much different tone than this one. So it's going to be a very different project from this one, but I hope you enjoy it. And I hope maybe I can draw in some more people, because I know not a lot of people stuck around for the long run with this series. But thank you to those of you who did. It really does mean a lot to me that I'm not just kind of shouting out into the void with this series. Man, I really thought that the difficulty kicked up earlier than this, because I am really running out of things to say. And I don't want to just go quiet and let you listen to the music quite yet, because we'll have plenty of time for that later. So I will take... Oh, well, I'm dying now. Message received. Do you accept defeat? No. I've had my share of hardship, yet there's light at the... I assume that's light at the end. I do not accept defeat. For a second, with how it faded there, I thought I accidentally pressed the wrong answer. For once, I wish I was worse than this. Wow, there are a lot of violinists. I guess we did have a lot of string orchestra pieces throughout the game. But, I'm surprised at how many violinists there were. I was, like, shooting so many violinists. Please don't take that out of context. Please do not take that out of context. My goodness. Thankfully, most of these names just go down in 1 or 2 hits. And most of the bullets they shoot out are the ones that you can destroy. I am going to die if I take another hit. I am 1 hit away from dying. All right. Oh, I thought that was the hit, but it was not. My problem with bullet hells is it's so difficult to keep track of. I mean, I get that they're supposed to be difficult, but it's just so difficult to keep track of where you are and where you're shooting and where all the bullets are all at the same time. All of the enemy bullets, I mean. There we go. Yep, I had no idea where I was. It is not all pointless. You'll die many times before it's over. It was hard for me as well. In the end, don't give up. We won't give up, Cheeky Chi. Thanks. So you're seeing there, we're getting some help. Those are messages left by other players for us. Which is why at the beginning it did ask if we wanted to connect to the network. That's what it was. Those are messages left by other players. And so far, I believe all the ones we've seen have been in English, but later on we will be getting ones from a bunch of different languages, and I don't believe all of them are translated. So that's just kind of nice. You get support from players all over the world. And like I said, these are real players leaving these messages for us, so it just adds to the sense of community this game has. This game doesn't exactly have the biggest community in the world. I mean, I've been on the subreddit a little bit recently, and I think there might be less than 10,000 people on the English subreddit. It might be, I don't remember exactly off the top of my head, but I think it might be as few as 2,000 people on the English subreddit for this game. So this game doesn't exactly have a huge community, but I think they did a pretty good job of of connecting the English community like this without forcing too much multiplayer. 2B and 9S put their lives on the line. Are you ready to give up here? On the contrary, survive. Limits exist to be broken. Basically, never surrender. Okay, so they are translated, but you do get to see the countries that they're from, which is cool. Do you think games are silly little things? No, of course not. I think games are a good way to kind of sit back and relax and kind of escape from reality for a little while. And honestly, I think that games like this especially prove that games can be just as valid of an artistic medium as something like film or literature. I mean, there's a lot of... First of all, I don't think an art form should be judged just on its symbolic implications, but I do think this game has quite a bit of symbology involved in it. And I really think that that it kind of brings the art form to a place that we haven't seen a lot of before. That being said, there is absolutely value in just playing games for fun. Because, you know, everybody needs some fun once in a while, or else life would just suck more than it already does. And as much as this is kind of a game about life sucking, especially an ending about life sucking, there are notes of hope. Especially in Ending E, which you haven't seen quite yet, but you will see Ending E. Ending E is definitely among the most hopeful. But even in the darkest of places, which I would definitely say is... I'm dead. Even in the darkest of play, I will not admit that there is no meaning to this world. Even in the darkest of places, which I would say is Ending D, there was a note of hope at the end, where you got to send 9S off with the machines if you wanted to. And the thing is, I think an important part of that is that you got to choose whether to send 9S off. Just like now, you're choosing over and over. The game asks you over and over if you're ready to stop, if you're ready to give up, if you're ready to admit defeat, if you're ready to admit there's no meaning or admit the games are silly. And every time you have to be the one to press the no button. You have to be the one to say, no, I'm not giving up here. Rescue offer received. And I think that's a really important thing. Because just like in real life, you are the one who decides if you have hope or not. And I know that's a really silly and generic thing to say here, but it's true. It gets repeated so much because it's true. I know that I've been going through a rough time in my life lately, and I know that a lot of people that I'm friends with, a lot of people that I hope are watching this video now, have also been going through a lot of rough times, but I think this game can go a long way to remind you that you are the one who decides if there is hope in your life. That's a message that I definitely have needed to be reminded of throughout the course of this year that I've been working on this series over and over again. I'm just really happy to have special stories in my life like this one to tell me things like that. I apologize for getting emotional here, but here we are. We've received a rescue offer. So, this is the last you're gonna hear from me during this game. I strongly, strongly, strongly recommend that you stick around for the entire rest of the video. I mean, stay on this video until your suggestions come up, please. Because even after the credits are over, even after the final cutscene is over, there is one more choice that I have to make. And I think it's one of, if not the most impactful choice in the entire game. In fact, I will say it right now, it is the most impactful choice in the entire game. And it's a really special one. And I've never said yes to it before, but I'm going to this time. So, once I accept this rescue offer, and I'm going to, once I accept this rescue offer, you're going to hear some more voices added to the song that's playing in the background right now. I think something important to note about those voices is that it's not the same choir that you've been hearing for the rest of the game. It's not some singers that they hired especially to do this song. The voices you're about to hear are from the development team behind this game. The developers from this point on are going to cheer us on. I think this is among the most special moments in gaming that you're about to see. I'm really glad to have shared this journey with you. I am so thankful that you've stuck with me all this way, that you've been with me as I've improved, that you've been with me as I fought through the hard times, as you've been with me as I've laughed at the fun times. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. So, from here on out, I'm going to be supported by the developers, the creators of this world that we've been exploring. I'm going to be supported by these people that have fought this fight before me. And I've been supported, and I'm being supported by you guys, the amazing people that have stuck through me throughout this whole adventure. So, with all those forces at my back, without further ado, I think it's time for us to reach out to the hand extended to us and finish Nier Automata. Thank you once again, and I'll see you next time.
Everything that lives is designed to end. They are perpetually trapped in a never-ending spiral of life and death. However, life is all about the struggle within this cycle. That is what we believe. Pod 153 to Pod 042. How is it going?
I am embarrassed.
Why is that?
I launched a suicide attack, and yet, here I am, still alive. I must look very silly.
Do not feel bad about it. We are alive, after all. And being alive is pretty much a constant stream of embarrassment.
That concept is a bit too abstract for me to understand at this time. I will save it in my list of things to analyze later.
Question, Pod 042. Did the data salvage restore all of their past memories?
Yes,
And are those recovered parts of the same design as previous ones?
yes.
Then, won't that simply lead us to the same conclusion as before?
I cannot deny the possibility. However, the possibility of a different future also exists. A future is not given to you. It is something you must take for yourself.
Pod 153 to player. Please respond to this query. Do you, faithful player, have anything you would like to say to other players who are suffering because they cannot finish Nier Automata?
Pod 042 to player. Please respond to this query. You, faithful player of this title, have lost your life multiple times to make it this far. You have faced crushing hardship and suffered greatly for it. Do you have any interest in helping the weak? Selecting this option enables you to save someone somewhere in the world. However, in exchange, you will lose all of your save data. Do you still wish to rescue someone, a total stranger, in spite of this? The person you save will be selected at random. As a result, this person, who cries out for help even as we speak, may be someone you intensely dislike. Do you still wish to help? You worked so hard to unlock debug mode and chapter select, but they will no longer be available to you. Do you still wish to help? You may not receive thanks for your efforts. Some may say that your efforts are purely for show. Do you still wish to help? And you are truly, truly sure about this? Very well. In exchange for all of your data, I will convey your will to this world. All of your data has been deleted.
And so, we must say goodbye. I feel a slight amount of sadness.
It is time for the final words.
Affirmative.
To all of you who spent time with this game,
Thank
thank you. Thank you for playing.